and to re-establish himself at Tynecastle. Derek Ferguson is fit enough to take his place on the bench. And it'll be a key role again for the youngest player in the squad, Alan McLaren. He's still only 19 years old, but he's been a regular for nearly 2 years. An under-21 international who's already captained his club. And Dundee United have reacted to the disappointment of defeat for the first time this season against Celtic in the Skull Cup semi by leaving out young Christian Daly and Alan Preston from the starting lineup and bringing back the more experienced Dave Bowman and Mixu Patalainen to add some steel to this potentially tough task. A flu scare made Freddie van der Hoorn doubtful, but he's in the side at sweeper, playing his 53rd competitive match for the club, following his bargain £200,000 transfer from Den Bosch in Holland last year. And the referee this afternoon, in his 9th season as a Grade 1 referee, Mr. Sandy Roy from Aberdeen. So there was a very warm welcome for these Hearts players, despite the disappointment of last week's result at Celtic Park. So both these sides sharing defeats against Celtic in the last week. And United, of course, determined to put that behind them and reinforce their position at the top of the table. There's Craig Levine. Hearts do have the advantage of having their strongest back four all available, despite the injury and illness problems they've been suffering this week. So these opening exchanges, perhaps even more important than usual this afternoon in view of the most recent results for the clubs. There's George Wright heading it on. Bannon, of course, playing that through for Cahoon. The shot from Ian Ferguson. There's George Wright. The clearance by Malpass. Bannon lofts it back in. There's Van der Hoorn. United having some difficulty getting this ball away. And there's Eamon Bannon with a shot. Well, Bannon has the incentive, of course, of playing against his former club. Started his career at Hearts, then went to Dundee United via Chelsea, now back at Tynecastle. So Hearts certainly minus their principal goal threat of the season, with John Robertson kept out of this match as a precaution following the concussion he sustained last week. And the pass overhit as far as Darren Jackson was concerned by McKinley. Foster Norrigate forward. McInally will be quick enough to get there ahead of Ian Ferguson. Header inside by McLaren. Forceful play here by George Wright. And he was guilty of the foul on Van der Hoorn. He was very calm and composed there as he won possession in his own penalty box. So Van der Hoorn with a free kick. Patalainen timing that run well. In goes McPherson. The chance now for Jackson. He's through his own. He's away from Henry Smith. And Darren Jackson will undoubtedly be regretting his first touch there. United's leading goal scorer taking that excellent pass forward. He was all on his own. That was the touch which let him down. Forced him to go very wide there and concede the goal kick. 7 goals he scored this season, Jackson, and that could easily have been number 8. Good play by McPherson, sidestepping Roy McKinnon. Eamon Bannon. Good running by Ferguson up front, dragging Van der Hoorn across. Far post cross, in came Cahoon. There's the chance for Wright. Well, he had to take that first time, George Wright, but it was all down to the good work from Ian Ferguson up front. Playing that across to the far post. Cahoon did well, challenging McInally, and there was Wright with a first time effort. Cleland now to Van der Hoorn. Welsh peeling off to the left to make an angle again. Patalainen, very powerful. Out of luck there on that turn, trying to do that very quickly and conceding the throw. Foster got a touch, then Malpass was quickly in on Ferguson. Here's Ian Ferguson again. Fine pass that to McKinley. Here's Bannon. Cleland is with him. Bannon trying to get in the cross. He's done well. There's Ferguson with, well, Ian Ferguson started that move all by himself inside his own half with a superb crossfield pass, which allowed Bannon to come forward on the left, and then he was in the end of the cross, under pressure though from Welsh. Turned inside by McKinley for Kirkwood. Here's Ian Ferguson. Right to Kirkwood. Now McKinley, good play again from Hearts. Here's Foster. And Bannon. Oh, miscue there from Jim McInally, but it fell kindly for United. Freddie van der Hoorn doing the confident tidying up operation. Good play this. The ball flighted to Wayne Foster. Down to Bannon. Controlling it. Setting himself up for a very accurate cross, which wasn't taken by the Hearts forwards. Then McInally miscued, but van der Hoorn was there. Ferguson lofting it forward. Breaks for Foster. Another good break for Wayne Foster. There's Kirkwood across to McKinley. Trying to take on Cleland on the outside. That's not easy, but it's good play by McKinley. And well held by Billy Thompson. Billy Thompson is giving Alec Cleland a lot of stick there for not completing this tackle. He was ahead of McKinley, but a little bit soft with the challenge, allowing McKinley to win it back and force Thompson to make the catch. Billy McKinley for United. Jackson, Bowman. McKinley again. Jim McInally's made this run right across from the left flank. He's in behind the defence. There's Patalainen! And excellent defensive play by John Cahoon. Well, what a run that was from Jim McInally as this ball was flighted into space there by Billy McKinley. McInally, who'd run 50 yards, judged as well, pulled it back for Patalainen, and look who's back, it's John Cahoon. McKinley to Bowman. He's found space in the middle of the field. He has Jim McInally free over on the left. Good running there by McKinnon. Appear to be brought down there, yes. It was Kirkwood who conceded the foul. So a late opportunity in the first half for United to go in front. Freddie van der Hoorn sprinting forward to become involved in this. Calling to Jim McInally to leave the free kick. So the two blonde figures in the box for United are the main dangers. Brian Welsh and Mixu Patalainen. Played in by van der Hoorn. Headed away by Bannon as far as McKinley. And there's no time for any more attacking play from United. Applause, particularly I think from the Hearts fans, as the side depart at half-time. It's been very evenly fought out, with United having the early advantage, then Hearts getting the grips with things in midfield. So a second half of great interest to come. At half-time, it's Hearts 0, Dundee United 0. Jim McLean, the Dundee United manager, reverted to the 11 who started the match last week at Tannadice against Rangers, and if you recall that match on Sports Scene, you'll remember how well United played, particularly in the second half. So it's that same team turned out again against Hearts, and United certainly started this match very well indeed, although Hearts fought their way right back into contention. So it'd be a very brave man who would predict the outcome of this particular contest. Certainly no obvious change in the Dundee United team structure for the second half. Here's Jim McInally. Jackson trying to come off his man. He was taken from the back by McPherson. Well, that was a sore one for Darren Jackson. He does that particularly well, the way he comes off a defender, make a little bit of space for himself and try to set up a move from a supporting midfield player, but Dave McPherson was giving him no room at all, as you will see from this. Played forward by McInally. Jackson coming off McPherson half a yard, trying to control it, and then taking that thump on the right ankle. So Jackson lips back into the fray. Here's Freddie van der Hoorn. Welsh going up, the ball found its way through to Jackson, who clearly has not yet fully recovered. Welsh's header goes straight to Kirkwood. This is Cahoon now, a little bit of space. Good running by Cahoon. Pass goes too close to Cleland, but here's Tosh McKinlay. He has Bannon on the outside. That couldn't have been far away from the post. But Tosh McKinlay coming forward here to good effect, stepping inside his man and then letting fly with an angled shot, which was indeed well off target. So there's going to be a substitution now made by Dundee United. Darren Jackson, who didn't recover from that ankle injury, is replaced by Paddy Connolly. Paul Sturrock and Kenny Cameron there on the bench for Dundee United, offering the instructions. Bowman sending it up the line where McPherson wins it. There's Bannon. Good challenge by Van der Hoorn, reading that superbly, winning it from Foster. And McLaren makes a good clearance there from Patalainen. This is Cahoon. Kirkwood. Ferguson is onside. A great chance now for Hearts. There are men waiting in the middle. Still Ian Ferguson. Well, showing the instincts of a striker. He was intent on having a shot at goal whenever he took possession there. He may regret on reflection not looking up and looking inside for the support which was arriving. But he checked inside. It's a good striker of the ball normally, Ferguson, but that wasn't one of his best. McLaren forward, Ian Ferguson again. Tackled by Van der Hoorn. Ferguson battling hard for possession. This is Cahoon. McLaren has McKinlay free on the left. Now Foster, well taken down. Well controlled by Foster. He'll be disappointed about the shot. This is a good pass again from Tosh McKinlay with that very educated left foot. Controlled well by Foster. The shooting chance was on, but the accuracy wasn't there. Playing it up the line, finding McInally, who prefers to let the ball run for the throw. There's Van der Hoorn, appears to have recovered completely from the ankle injury sustained earlier on in the second half. It's back now with Alec Cleland. No Malpass. Van der Hoorn to McKinnon. Cleland has lots of space on the right. His Hearts funnel back into defence now. Cleland playing it low towards Patalainen, looking to turn. Well, he did well to get the shot on target, Mixu Patalainen. Never seriously troubled the keeper, but good play again from United. And this ball played in low by Alec Cleland. Patalainen with his back to goal, controlling it, trying to turn away from McLaren, but Smith had the angle right. McInally back to Van der Hoorn. McKinnon still available on that right touchline. Here's McKinnon now, taking a good pass from Van der Hoorn. And young McKinnon appeared to be caught in two minds there as he came inside. Kirkwood to McLaren. McKinnon recovers well to step away from McKinnon. The layoff from Ferguson, here's right. Could have used Cahoon first time, but has switched back to the left for Bannon. McKinlay forward, here's Ian Ferguson back with Bannon. 1-0 to Hearts. But it was the former Dundee United connection which did the damage. 27 minutes into the second half, and this was brilliantly set up. The ball forward here to Ian Ferguson, The layoff to Bannon, and the shot not stopped there by Billy Thompson. Well, Ferguson and Bannon, both former Dundee United players, so they'll take particular pleasure in that goal. Well, pass forward. Here's Dave Bowman. Connolly comes from the right. Back it goes to Bowman. And a great blocking challenge there made by Dave Kirkwood. That was very important for Hearts because it looked as though Connolly had opened up the Hearts defence. Patalainen helps it on. And a great opportunity there for Jim McInally. Well, the corner kick from Preston, touched on here by Patalainen. And McInally may now regret trying to blast that into the net. He had a great shooting chance. Hearts have settled in well in their lead since Eamon Bannon's goal. And in the end, this would be a victory which they could scarcely begrudged for the effort put into the whole match. Welsh put under pressure there by Cahoon, but responding well. McPherson's header straight to Derek Ferguson. Back it goes to Henry Smith. The referee checking with his linesman now. The Hearts fans and players have no doubt waiting anxiously for this final whistle. Headed away by Malpass. This is Kirkwood. Now McPherson. McKinley offering himself on the far side. Put under pressure by Billy McKinley. This is Bowman. Now McKinley. A last chance perhaps for United. Here's Connolly. Checking inside. Looking for support. He gets it from Billy McKinley. And that's much too close to Henry Smith to trouble the Hearts defence. That may well be the last effort from Dundee United in attack. The linesman indicating to the referee that time is up. And referee Sandy Roy agrees. The league leaders are defeated. They're knocked off their perch at the top. Joe Jordan departs up the tunnel, a very contented man, I've no doubt. Hearts winning the match, and that was a tribute to their resilience and the determination. They battled extremely well indeed until Eamon Bannon gave them the winner 18 minutes from the end, and that's a result which they can scarcely begrudged. It was Hearts 1, Dundee United 0.
Joe, your first home match in charge, what was your reaction to that performance overall?
I was delighted with the performance and obviously equally delighted with the result. It was great to get off to a winning start, especially taking into consideration the number of injuries that we had. And it's credit to the players that came in. I explained to them that at the beginning of the week that there were some reports in the paper about interest in other players, but I can truthfully say the only interest I have at the moment is looking at the Hearts players. And that is all the Hearts players, everyone that's on the book. So the players that did get the opportunity to play today, I think they did well.
What do you think was the key factor which turned the game your way? Because at the start, United, I think you would agree, were very impressive.
Yes, I think they've got a settled shape. They worked on it a lot last year, and they've started off this year with it. Ourselves, we have, for the whole season, through illness and injuries, it's been messed about a little bit, and players have been coming in, and that is very difficult. But I think once the first 15-20 minutes were out the way and the lads realised who was picking up who, and maybe they gave them just a little bit too much respect, but once that period was over, then I think the Hearts came into the game, and as the game progressed, right up until we scored a goal, I thought we were a better team, and certainly in the second half I think we restricted them a lot more, and when we had the ball we looked a lot more dangerous.
What about your approach to the team now? It's got a system of play which has been evolved over a long period under Alec MacDonald. Will you make significant changes to the style of play?
No, I won't. No, I've got players here that have played under a set way, and for me to come and change it would be stupid. There are players here who know what they're doing, and they've got to know what they're doing. And I've come from a club which played and plays attacking football. And the players here, I think, that is the manner in which they play the game, and that is certainly the manner in which I'll select a team. You can only pick a team with the players that you've got, and I have a team that can play constructive and good football. And it's up to them to get back to the sharpness that they had, and they certainly went a bit to do that today. But also I think the fact that they winning the game and getting the 2 points will give them a wee bit of confidence. But I'm not kidding myself. I know there's a long way to go, and there was times in the game where I seen things that maybe that we can look at again, and we can certainly improve.
Joel, good start. Very best of luck to you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
8 minutes, obviously nice to get a goal any time, but especially so when it's the winner.
Well, that's right. I was absolutely delighted to score. Possibly a little bit because it was Dundee United as well. It meant a little bit extra to me, but I don't score that many goals these days, so that was one to savour.
And there was a touch of the Dundee United old boys about it, because there was a lovely layoff from Ian Ferguson, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah, it was a good move. It worked down the left, and I think I played it to Tosh. He played it into Ian Ferguson, and he laid it off to me, and I struck it from the edge of the box.
Overall, I thought it was a very good battling performance, perhaps, because you had to come back after being behind a little bit in the first 10-15 minutes.
Darren Jackson had a good chance. I thought Henry Smith did particularly well on that occasion. Dundee United played the ball a bit well at the back. They're playing with these three centre halves, and they got a lot of room in the midfield, and it was just a matter of working out the best way to combat that. We finally started to get into the game a little bit more, and I think we deserved a win overall. We deserved a win over the 90 minutes.
Now, a new manager coming to any club always gives the place a bit of a lift. What's the effect been of Joe Jordan's arrival in the last couple of weeks?
Well, just as you say, everyone's on an even keel. Everyone's trying to prove that they're the player to play in a certain position. Someone like Ian Ferguson today has grabbed his chance. He was in the wilderness in the past, so he was playing today and played particularly well. Someone like myself, who hasn't been playing in the last couple of weeks, I got a chance. So everyone's G'd up, everyone's trying their best, and today was a good result for the team and a good result for Joe Jordan.
And a last word looking ahead to Wednesday night, which is obviously a very important one for you. You were on the bench over in Russia. What kind of side are they?
They're a very, very good side. I think it was an exceptional performance to get a 1-1 draw over there. They have about 4 or 5, I would say, exceptionally quick players, and I think we'll have a lot of problems them breaking, trying to catch us on the break, because they only need to really score a goal. So it'll be a very tactical performance on Wednesday, I feel. It'll be a good game, some good players, and the tie is by no means over.
Well, you certainly got off to a good start to the week today. Well done, Eamon.
Thank you.
Yes, Hearts delighted with the points, obviously, and it is a very useful 2 points for them, Derek, obviously.
It is, and it's always nice to get a victory before you go into Europe, Doogie. Remember, they had half their team missing this afternoon, so that made it even better for them.
In some ways, it was a disappointing match. Two sides full of good players, but it just somehow never quite took off today.
Well, I think Dundee United were mentally and physically drained after Tuesday night's semi-final, and they never really reached the heights of last week's second-half performance against Rangers. But full marks to Hearts. They went out and did their business and got the victory that they wanted.
One or two very impressive performances. I thought Craig Levine, again, was a very commanding figure in the Hearts defence. He's just a quality player, Derek, isn't he?
Well, there's a lovely ball through there. David Bowman running for it. And just look at this tackle inside the box. I mean, he had to be precise with that, Dougie, because had he been a second earlier or later, it was a penalty kick. Tremendous challenge.
That's right. So something else that always impresses me about Craig, he's a great shouter and organiser at the back, which is important too, isn't it?
You certainly need that in a game, and playing in the centre of defence, someone has to do the shout. Look at that, panicked again there, Craig Levine. Knows where the goalkeeper is, just a little nod back. Tremendous play. Here he goes again. He doesn't even allow Darren Jackson to turn. Look, he's got the cheek to actually take the ball off him after he's beaten him in the challenge.
That's right. Good player, and good to see him back to full fitness after all the problems he's had. At the other end of the pitch, again, a very, very good defender in Freddie van der Hoorn, who was again impressive today.
Well, I've watched him in the last 2 weeks 3 times, and he's just a quality player. I mean, this one has got Holland written all over it. Look, the pass keeps running, a bit of pace here again, gets to the byline and looks up. I mean, it's tremendous play for a centre-back. Here he is again, doesn't panic, takes the ball off him here again. Look, tremendous on the ball, great footwork. Of course, here he is coming forward again, waits for the winger to come off there, looks tremendous ball inside the full-back to set up another attack.
Yes, that really was 2 outstanding performances, I thought, today by the defenders. And the goal, which is well worth seeing again, because it was textbook stuff, wasn't it?
It was. I think young lads watching should just watch Eamon Bannon. He look, nothing to do, he just passes it but keeps running. Lovely ball from McKinley, beautiful layoff, and there's Eamon Storr on into his stride. good shot that it was. I think Billy Thompson will be a bit disappointed with that, because I think he'd normally have got that one, do you?
Yeah, but it was fizzing along, wasn't it? They hit it well. So looking ahead to Wednesday, I think we've got to say 3 sides are certainly through. Hearts obviously have the most difficult task.
Of course they are, but they did the hard work going over to Russia, Dougie, and getting a 1-1 draw. That was a tremendous result. But as Eamon said there, they've got 4 or 5 players that can run. They're very, very quick, and that's what you have to look out for. You can't afford to run forward and try and get goals. If they've got pace, you have to have men at the back to look after them.
Dundee United have had 2 defeats this week, but a chance for them to get back in the winning trail. They're comfortably placed. Aberdeen, though, that might be, you know, interesting, because that's a real blow to them, the 5-0 defeat today. Well,
that's right, 5 breakaways I heard it was. That will be. They'll be disappointed, but with winning 2-0 away, I think they will be comfortably